So Citroën has just sent me this invitation. This is for their new C3 and I'm going to decode this invitation for you because it hides some of the strategies that they are going to follow for the Indian market. So let us first begin with the tricolor. You can see the orange, white, green, and that's because the C3 is coming to India. That signifies what these colors mean. And now opening this up, there. So essentially this is like one of those grown-up coloring books that you get. This is for you to color. With these, they have sent a set of coloring pencils. So why have they done that? Essentially, when they say color your world with your style, what they're trying to tell you is there is going to be a lot of customization that they will allow with the upcoming C3. In fact, back in 2019, we were invited to France to take a look at what this customization looks like, what is the kind of experience that they want to offer. And back then we thought that they would offer it with the Citroen C5, that's the car that they began their operations with. However, they did not do that because they were expecting limited numbers for that car, so they didn't want to complicate the whole thing by adding a lot of customization in it. However, all of that was happening for this car because this is their made in India product. This is their product that will go to town, establishing the brand, and that is why all that customization is going to come to this car. So what is this experience that they're talking about? Let me go back to 2019 and show you what this is all about. Also, back then I did not know how to pronounce this name. It is Citroën. Back then I used to call it Citroën. So excuse that and let's get on with it.
Hello people, this is Rohit Paradkar. I am in Paris on behalf of Overdrive. We are here on invitation by Citroën. Now Citroën, as you all know, they announced that they will be entering the Indian market sometime in 2020, rather late 2020, with the C5 Aircross. They will begin with the tier 1 cities, some of the cosmopolitan cities, and they are going to bring in a different retail experience to sell their cars through. So what is that retail experience? That's something that we are going to experience today. In fact, what I have behind me is the showroom or the retail experience center that they have in Paris, and that is something that they're going to replicate in the Indian scheme of things as well. So something that you need to note, or something that you need to notice when I'm going to show you the video, is that this is actually a very tiny dealership, and the dealerships that are planning to be set up in the Indian market are going to be much larger than this. So the experience could also get larger with that. Well, will it? That's something that we need to find out in 2020, but as of now I'm going to quickly show you what their retail experience or what their showrooms are going to look like when they start operations in 2020. Let's quickly turn over the camera and check it out. So it is called La Maison Citroën. So most of the showrooms are going to be called La Maison Citroën. So for example, if it opens in Mumbai, it will be a La Maison Citroën Mumbai, La Maison Citroën Bengaluru, and so on and so forth. So what does La Maison mean? Essentially, this translates to the home of Citroën. They want to give a very homely experience to people who walk into these showrooms. That is why it's called so. That is why you'll also see a lot of wood and carpeting, something like what you would see in a fancy house, something that would create the feeling of warmth of a home. That is what the idea is. So every showroom will have a huge screen like this on the outside, which will constantly be displaying different advertisements, different B-roll videos of the cars that are going to be sold. For India, however, they're only going to begin with one vehicle, the vehicle that you see in the frames right now. It's a C5 Aircross that they will be launching with. So let's just get in and see what the dealership looks like. For some reason it won't open, okay, because people are shooting. So we are going to go in through the Peugeot dealership. So the Peugeot and the DS brands are also a part of PSA, but they will not be coming to India. It's only Citroën that will be coming to India. Though I would have loved to see Peugeot come in, and that's a very lovely vehicle that I would have loved to see on the Indian roads. That's the Peugeot 508. So Peugeot is a slightly more premium brand in comparison to Citroën, and that is evident even in the way the dealership for Peugeot is laid out. But our focus is on Citroën, and that is what we are going to see. Well, so that is the C5 Aircross. We'll come to that vehicle later. I've already shown you that vehicle. If you want to see it in detail, you can see it on the Overdrive YouTube channel. But This is the dealership. This is the retail experience that these guys are talking about. And I want you to take a good look at the design, at the way these guys have laid out everything. So like I said, they have made a generous use of wood and carpeting, and even the furniture is something that you would find in a fancy house. It's all to create that urban vibe, a youthful vibe. It's not to really portray the brand as a very premium or a very luxury kind of a brand, because that is not what their positioning in India is going to be. It's going to be a very youthful, a very hip brand, which is why there'll be a lot of customization options that you will get with the vehicles that Citroën will launch in India, beginning with the C5 Aircross that we have here today. Well then, so people are shooting, so I'm not going to intrude into the frame, but what do you see there? A big screen on the wall and a big screen there on the floor. Essentially that's a configurator. Now you all know what configurators are like. You essentially pick and choose various components that can be customized within a car. So yeah, so some of the inlays, some of the body colors that you can choose from, you can literally look at the paint finish, you can literally look at what it will look like in real world and not just on the virtual screen. Before I come to that, I'm going to quickly tell you how Citroën, the configuration is going to work. So essentially you will start configuring your vehicle, in this case the C5 Aircross, for example. You'll start configuring the vehicle, researching about it on maybe a website or maybe Citroën's own website. You'll start looking at reviews online before you zero in on a vehicle. Once you choose your vehicle, then you start customizing it, again on maybe your cell phone through the configurator app or something like that. So usually what happens is, when you configure such vehicles, you walk into the dealership and then you have to start all over again, explain the salesman what you are looking for, what are the options that you wanted. It could be the wheels, it could be the colors, it could be different accents here and there, and you're starting all over again. With these experiences at Citroën, they expect you to not do that. Essentially you can customize it on your cell phone or on a tablet device. Enter your email ID so that the configuration gets saved against your email ID. You simply walk in here, enter your email ID on that configurator, that big large touchscreen device that you see on the floor, and the dealership or the salesman can immediately see what you want. You can then look at the vehicle that you want on the big screen there, configure it further if you need to, look at the price options, look at the different pricing for all the various options that you've chosen, and then decide whether that's the vehicle you want to go for. But that's of course a visual representation of what the vehicle will look like. So if you want to touch and feel the materials, that is where the retail experience comes in, because you have, like I said, the body panels here, maybe the customization for the steering wheel, what the actual wheels look like, so you can see, look and feel all of that. You also have various materials, like on the other wall you can see the seat material, the seat trim. You can see the various leather trim that can be configured for various inlays or panels inside the car. I think all these things will then give you a much closer visual and physical experience of what these things will feel like. So what Citroën likes to call this is phygital, which is physical and digital. So the digital experience was essentially the configuration that you carried out on the configurator, and the physical experience is where you can touch and feel all the parts that you are customizing for your vehicle. So this dealership, like I told you, is a very tiny one. It's about 150 to 200 square feet. The ones that they're planning in India are much larger than this. They will begin, of course, with the C5 Aircross, which will have a host of customizability options like you see on the wall here. But the vehicles that they're going to launch after the C5 Aircross, which will be in 2021, 22 and 23, which are supposed to be smaller than the C5 Aircross, I believe will have similar level of customization options. Otherwise, such dealerships just won't make sense for a single model, and that too like the C5, which is not going to have tremendous volumes. This retail experience is very similar to something that you would find in, say, something like an Apple store, where you go in, you have a look and feel of the device itself, and then you look at the customizability options, and then you choose the various covers, screen guards, whatever. So it's something similar, much larger in scale, of course, because this is a car. And then you also have a bit of a traditional experience where you can just simply sit with a salesperson and then look at the different pricing options, like I said, discuss your pricing options, and then you decide whether you want to buy the car. So this is something that they are trying to replicate. They will replicate rather in India. Like I said, they will begin with all the bigger cities. So it will essentially start off with places like Mumbai, Bengaluru, Delhi, Hyderabad. So they're looking at 10 cities to start off the La Maison Citroën with, and then they will look at the tier 2 and tier 3 cities where they might have a different format. They will also have a lot of merchandising options, including these lovely miniature models. There. So yes, so are there any questions that you guys want me to answer? I'm going to quickly look at whatever you guys have posted so far. In the meantime, there are people shooting there, which is why I'm unable to go close to the car. But once that's done, I will. In the meantime, that white car there is the C5 Aircross. So, someone's asking me what is the vehicle that they are planning to introduce in India. Well, this is the vehicle, what you see in the frame right now, the white color car. It's a C5 Aircross. It is a flagship model for Citroën. It will compete with the likes of the Tucson and the Compass. So you're looking at a 20 plus lakh rupee price tag for this vehicle when it comes to India. There'll be, like the showroom shows you already, a host of customizability options that they will have in the Indian market as well. So you see a lot of wood and carpeting here for the showrooms here. In India, they'll also have a lot of orange accenting for the showrooms, because their customer clinics that they've done shows that India loves the orange color, and they would want that to create that youthful vibe inside the cabin. Inside the showroom, pardon me. Moving on to the next questions, where are they planning? Like I said, 10 cities is what they are planning in, and it will be all the cosmopolitan cities, all the metros. They'll begin with 10 cities, and then they'll move to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. This happens in 2020. Right, so I think these guys are done shooting, so I'm going to move closer to the vehicle now and show you the vehicle. Or should I first show you the configurator? So let's just do this. Let's quickly show you the configurator. So this is what they call the configuration wall, or the configurator wall. Like I said, there's a TV right there. In India, they'll have larger displays. They're saying minimum 95 inches, or maybe even bigger by the time they start. And then you have this huge touchscreen device, or touchscreen that will let you configure your car. So we are going to begin right at the start. So we'll choose. We will begin with the C5 Aircross. I know there are a lot of reflections here, but I hope you guys can take a quick look at what this is all about. So this is the C5 Aircross. So I'm going to choose that car. Then you can choose whether you want diesel, petrol, you want auto, manual. So once you do that, then you choose the trim level, or at least the exterior variant. So you have the live, the feel, and the shine. So the shine is the top of the line for now, and that also gets you a lot of customizability options. So we are going to go with the shine. Right, so this is the bare basic shine variant, which we'll start customizing now. So you have various options, like if I touch here, that gives me the different engine options. It will also let you choose the interior trim. This, I'm not sure what it means. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the kind of dual tone option that you want. We'll go with the red. There, it changed on the car. I think the red looks quite funky. It's not a blood red, it's a little towards an orange, or like the volcano red maybe. So these are the various exterior color options. I'm going to stick to the white and red that I also have here. And we have options for the different features in the car. You can choose your full LED headlamps, you can choose a park assist, you can have various traction control levels, all those things. Now, how much of that comes to India, we don't know. There's also a dash cam option. Dash cams are getting quite popular in India now, so if you want to specify one, you might be able to do it when the C5 comes out right from the factory. You also have wheel options. There. You also have wheel options. There's 18 to 19-inch wheels. Of course, for India, Citroën might choose differently given the Indian road conditions. I'm expecting a 17 and 18 configuration for the Indian market. So you can choose your wheel options. Like I said, you can also take a look at what those wheels look like in real life. That's the beauty of visiting the dealership or the retail experience, something that you might not get on the configurator. So once we have done that, you can also see what the vehicle looks like. So that's again a big control panel, and that's the vehicle in front of us, the one that we customized. White exterior, red accents, and the cabin trim that we chose. So you can simply, like a video game, take a 360-degree view of what the vehicle looks like. Once you do that, you can also look at the various features there. Now we move into the cabin. That is what the cabin looks like, what we chose. Quite dark, in my opinion. We could have gone with lighter colors, but that's again personal preference. You guys can decide what you like. There, we move back to the exterior. So like I said, you can then take a look at what the vehicle looks like, and once you have, you can again go and choose your different materials. You can see what the materials feel like. You can literally feel what the materials feel like, what they look like in the real world and not on a virtual screen. And then, depending on the configuration that you've chosen, the dealership will then give you a price tag, tell you what various options cost, and if you're comfortable and if you place an order, then you understand what the waiting period would be like, because this is a completely customized vehicle which the dealer may not have in stock in the exact configuration you want. So then you can make your choice whether you want to wait, not wait, go with whatever the dealer has in stock. But then what's the point of configuring if you don't want to wait for the vehicle that you have customized, right? So this is the C5 Aircross, very similar to the customization that we already did. In fact, different wheels though. We chose the all black wheels. These are the diamond finished ones, but it has the red accents that we spoke of.
Now, how much of this customization comes to the India-spec C3 remains to be seen. Of course, the C3 you see here versus what you saw in the showroom experience that I was showing you are two different cars. That's the outgoing C3. What you see here is the new made for India, made in India Citroen C3. And we are going to be driving it very soon. In fact, by the time you watch this video, I would be behind the wheel of this car. So if you have any questions about the car, put them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them in my review or in the comment section itself. Stay tuned to Overdrive. That review will go online very soon. If you haven't subscribed to this channel and the Overdrive channel, do so now so that you are abreast with all the latest reviews and content that we push out for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, drive safe.